So now there's 3 of us with 1 corner left. This is what we signed up for. Hi everyone, welcome back to That Tom Bloke Racing. As you probably know by now, I'm That Tom Bloke. We're back on to Gran Turismo 7 this time, and in a moment I'll walk you through the April challenges for this episode. If you've recently joined the series or you just want to have a quick recap, I'll also run through all the challenges so far at the end of the episode, so stay tuned. That way you can jot them down and maybe even try them for yourself. But first, I want to start this one a little bit differently, and if my mates are watching, you're probably about to say this is out of character for me, but I'm going to get a bit gushy. The last episode was by far the most watched in the series. More importantly, the comments were absolutely brilliant. People wishing me luck, offering me advice and tips, but also sharing their own stories and experiences, asking me questions, just generally being supportive. I genuinely can't tell you how much that means to me. I started this channel hoping to find a little group of like-minded people all improving together, having a bit of a laugh. But when you're deep into some stuff like the editing, which I've had to learn completely from scratch, there are moments whether you sort of wonder whether it's worth the time, if anyone's going to watch. There's no money in it for me at this stage, of course. This is just about the journey, about getting better, about making something I enjoy and I think you'll enjoy. But seeing people join in, comment, even just watch, it gives me a real boost. So thank you sincerely. I was originally going to say I had a quiet goal of reaching 100 subscribers, but that actually happened the day before the last episode went live. So now my target is 200. If you're not subscribed yet, we seem to be building something quite cool here. So I'd love it if you join in. Hit the subscribe button, maybe give the video a like if you're enjoying it so that other people see it in their feed, and definitely drop a comment. Let us know if you're following the challenges or if you just want to say hello. Anyway, let's get into this month's challenges. Number 1, to win an online race in the daily race format. So yes, win, not just survive, not get the top 50%, but actually win. Last time we did a daily race, I think in episode 5, I got a bit of a bashing about as expected, but we did do it. Most importantly, we had a good time doing it. And last time the goal was to finish in the top half, and I ended up trying all 3 races and ticking them off. Not sure if I'll do the same again this time, depends how tricky it is. It would be really cool if I could, but we'll see. If you spent any time in these sports lobbies, you'll know this isn't just about pace. It's about patience as well. It's about dodging chaos, holding your nerve, not letting frustration take over when somebody takes you out from 3 postcodes back. That's something I've had to get better with dealing with for sure. Number 2, practice slipstreaming and overtaking in different corners. That sounds a bit vague to me, but also that's just racing, isn't it? So I'll probably work on that naturally while we're going for the win. I don't think it needs a whole segment of its own. We'll just roll with it. Number 3, execute a pit stop strategy in a 20-lap online race. I probably need to set up a custom race for this, I guess, unless a lobby happens to be running the same thing. It doesn't say I need to win it, though that would obviously be a bonus, and that's what we'll aim for. So those are the challenges for April. Will I win today? Don't know. Probably not. Will I keep trying until I do? Yes, absolutely. That's what this whole thing's about. That's what I'm about. One of my philosophies in life. We've got a goal. We keep going until it's done. Anyway, you've seen enough of me. Let's get the engines on. Let's head out. Let's see if we can win a race. Okay, so we are starting in 11th. Put some laps in. To be honest, that is a horrible car and track combination, but we're not last. We might as well be. I very much doubt we'll win this particular one, but I haven't done anything to the car, but let's see. So the first daily race A this week, is at Tsukuba. It's basically the Honda S2000 with BOP applied. I took it around for a bit of a warm-up and a quali. I've got to say, it's not a lot of fun to drive. You've got to be very careful on the throttle coming out of any corner, and there's a lot of corners on this track. So I'm up against completely C-rated drivers here, making it even harder for me. So thanks, GT7. But we put in a 1 minute dead, 0.160, which wasn't exactly great, but it's the first go. We and this started us pretty much at the back. It was P11. As you can see, I'm the only D-rated driver on the grid. Everyone else is a C, which is going to make this an extra level of difficulty. Alright, let's go. So off we go. I guess one advantage of being nearly last is that you avoid all the turn 1 chaos, although we did get a bit of a side swipe, but nothing that took me out completely. Anyway, I managed to do that myself just a few turns later. Maiden got a 7-second penalty. Oh god. That'll teach me for laughing at someone else, I guess. Total karma. I probably deserve that, maybe. So yeah, obviously I was last from there, and even though I did catch up and some people left the room, that didn't change again for the rest of the race. So I won't bore you with the footage. You know the drill by now. We go again. Okay, we picked up our quali time a bit there with 59.2. Puts us in this one in 7th. I'm finding this combination of car and track extremely difficult, to be fair. Not enjoying that at all. Doesn't matter, we've got to do this. Let's go, let's see what happens. Yeah, at least in this race everyone is a D driver level. Right, second attempt, and exactly like I said there, at least I'm up against other D-rated drivers this time. I don't know how much of a difference there is, but I guess it can't hurt. And then we had this really weird glitch at the start. I assume they were meant to be rolling, but it was almost as if some of them thought it was a grid start. It sort of worked in our favour a bit, but it was odd. And then, just as I was saying, we avoided the turn 1 chaos in the first attempt. It says I'm P5. We got rammed completely this time. Oh, cheers, mate. Yeah, idiot. And that was basically the end of this attempt. We finished last. So we go again. Last. Okay, qualied a bit better. 59.0 puts us in 4th. We've got a C-rated driver ahead of us, but there's a few of them in there. So we're doing really well here. 2 attempts and 2 last positions, but exactly as I said in the intro, we don't give up, we keep going until it's done. This time the start works properly at least, and now we have the opposite advantage to what we had earlier on. We avoided the turn 1 carnage, sort of, because we qualied well, not because we were last. So basically you don't want to be in the middle starting in these races. I knew my strategy right from the off. Knowing this is a difficult car and track combo, I figured that if I just drive as clean a race as possible without going too nuts, I'd probably end up doing alright. Everyone else would sort themselves out. So that's what I did. I spent most of the race between 2 and 3 seconds behind the front 2 drivers, so we skipped forward to lap 5. I've driven exactly as planned so far, nice and cleanly, not taking too many risks, being careful with the throttle, and here I could start to get a sense that the front 2 drivers were starting to fight a bit more, and I thought that might work to my advantage. I was sure they'd slow each other down, maybe even take each other out. As you probably know by now, I'd much prefer to see proper racing than gaining a position through someone else wiping out. I mean, I'll take that of course, but you know what I mean. Then Patoka went way wide here, so I saw a gap. I didn't quite get it. I was conscious of not letting the adrenaline surge and make a mistake, but we did close the gap right up. So the last lap and a half was going to be super tight. I think it could have been anyone's at this point. Funnily enough, I spent the whole race up to here not being worried about the car behind me. They'd been 2 or 3 seconds back the whole time. Then suddenly they were there. So we actually had a 4-way race to the end now. Parente went well wide here. You could tell everyone was super pumped up for this now. But I made a mistake and nudged Patoka. I'm really sorry, mate. Although they sort of got me back, to be fair. And then out of the blue, the driver in fourth capitalised on our bumping around and went through into first. So now there's 3 of us with 1 corner left. This is what we signed up for. And it looked like Patoka took the Czech driver out, so that gave me second place. But that move gave him a penalty, which was enough to promote me to first. So we won. We did it! We did it! We did it because he got a penalty. Oh, we won a race. But we won our first daily race. Get in! Get in! Sorry, I'm more pleased with that. I thought that was going to be hard. Just jumped in to mess around this morning. That means we met our goal. Okay, so we've got a win under our belt, albeit in daily race A. So we can tick off the challenge, but let's challenge ourselves a bit. It's Sunday morning. I've got all day, at least until the Bahrain Grand Prix this afternoon and the football. Let's just see how we get on with daily race B, maybe even daily race C. We'll see how we get on. Okay then, we didn't qualify very well there. I think I'm even off that starting grid screen. I mean, we only had 3 minutes and it's the first attempt. So that's fine, we'll kind of use the race as practice and see how lucky we get. And again, we'll just keep it clean, try and get around, see how we get on. Alright, so we're off. To be honest, I always go into these first attempts with the mindset that we're just going to get a feel for the race, see what levels everyone's at, and get some actual race practice in, because it's very different from just trying to get the fastest lap with no one else on the track. We gained a place at the bus stop, but lost it again to someone else on the next corner. Although they basically gave it back to us straight away. By the end of lap 1, we had actually lost a couple of places, but 2 of them on that last corner. Fast forward to lap 5 and we'd gained a position on lap 4 from a driver who'd driven into the barrier at the bus stop again, and we had a chance to get another one here, hunting down the German driver in front, and we got a bit lucky as they got a penalty and we were right behind them, close enough to give us the advantage. So we finished in P8, which was an improvement from where we started. We had a nice clean race, so I consider that a successful first attempt. Okay, I'll take that. We finished 8th and we started in whatever it was, 2nd or 3rd from last, so presumably 12th or 13th. I think if we put a better quality lap in, get a bit further up the field to start with. I like the track, I like the car, so this is doable with a lot of attempts. Pleased with that one though. For the second attempt, I actually qualified a huge 4 seconds faster, but still started back in 14th. The truth is though, I messed this one up myself. So I finished the race, brought it home in P14, so on to the next one. Well, that's that race over. Ooh, final lap. So by this third attempt we were definitely getting closer. We spent pretty much the whole race in this 3-car battle just to determine the order of the podium. There was some very respectable racing, so I knew I just had to keep driving well and just wait for the opportunity to appear. Which eventually came here. But then it nearly all came undone. Luckily his bump meant he got a big penalty, so we got the place back, and rightly so. Got a penalty, but it's... oh, yes it is. Yeah, he deserved that, sorry. So that's our best result yet, P2. I know we're going to get this soon. Woo! That is a result. That is a result. 2nd place. I feel like I would have been closer to the guy at the front, driver at the front, if it hadn't been for being taken out. But luckily that guy got the penalty, so that's quite an improvement in 3 races. We've been playing, what, 45 minutes? Can we get one better now? Okay, so we improved our quali again, quite nicely this time. Oh wow. That's put us in 2nd, but that person on pole, not far off a 2nd ahead of me, more than half. That's tough. The next 7 places all within half a second. All right. Well, we started 2nd. That's the highest we've started. Now I'm jumping straight into attempt 5 here. I did do a 4th attempt, but we didn't get first position. It was a fairly standard end-to-end procession. I think we started in P6, finished P4, so not a lot to show. But on this attempt, as I said, we started in 2nd, but that pole driver looked like they were going to be very good. But having said that, I've no idea what happened to them here, so we kept clear, took the opportunity and got into 1st. Then it was just a case of keeping the concentration, trying to put in 5 flawless quali level laps.
Oh, 2nd just span out.
After that driver in 2nd span out, that gave us a little bit more room. And I'm going to skip forward here because everything was still going to plan. I kept 1st place all the way through, so here we are coming up to the end of the final lap. It's funny because although I felt like I had the comfortable lead, honestly it's crazy how much the heart starts pumping in this situation. It's almost more adrenaline than when you're chasing down 1st.
Okay, I think we've got this. Yes! We did it! We did it! So, 5 attempts, I think that was. Oh, oh, that was so nervous. Those last couple of laps, like every corner, you go into almost a bit scared that you're going to mess it up or get a penalty or something. But we did it, race B. Well, race C, race A and B now. Oh, I think that goes to show taking a rest, going off for half an hour or something, is almost like a cheat code in this game. Oh, that is super cool. Don't know whether we're going to try race C yet. Ah, that's cool. Okay, let's go. I imagine it will be absolute carnage in turns 1 and 2 on this track. Oh, like that.
If you've been watching me from the beginning of the series, you've probably figured out now how competitive I am. So even though we've technically done the April challenge of winning an online daily race, and in fact we've done it twice, races A and B, of course I'm going to try for all 3 of them. The truth is I recorded tons of footage, so much in fact that the daily races changed, as some of it was on a Sunday and some of it was on the Monday, and they change overnight. So for a bit of fun, I'm going to show a montage of some of the best moves we made. So sit back and enjoy.
I feel like we should give you that place back, to be honest, mate. We just had to take it honestly. Oh, we did, I think. Okay, we're going into the final lap. Can we take this Italian? Nearly. Ah. Well, we've had some good racing today. Oh, he's lost it.
Okay, so it's a new day. Now it's actually a Monday, so it's a new week according to Gran Turismo. The daily races have reset, so all those times I spent trying to do Lake Maggiore yesterday were wasted, kind of. I mean, we didn't need to do it anyway, but it means we can't do that again. So we've got a new one. But while I'm on this screen, I want to ask a question. You see the top, not the barrier with the medals on the right hand side, the banner with the medals on the right hand side. What are those medals for? Are those time trials? I'm assuming so, but if you know, let me know. Anyway, what that means is that these are our daily races today. I've actually just had a play around. I did daily race A. I was doing daily race B, but I don't know what's in the air today, but it was just full of idiots. Couldn't get a lap done without somebody just... Anyway, we know what they're like. And then I thought, well, I've done race B as far as the challenge goes anyway. So let's just concentrate and see what we can do in daily race C. We're going to Deep Forest in a group 3. So I'm going to play around for a bit. Like I say, we don't need to win this. We've done the challenge, but I've got the day off work, so why not? Let's see what happens. I've qualified in 3rd, which isn't too bad. Only 3/10 off pole, but I am back in my favourite R8. So yeah, let's see if we can win this. We'll see how many attempts. We've got to take into account pit here. It looks like we have to use hards and mediums. Okay, here we go. Now I imagine turn 1 and the hairpin at the top are going to be the danger areas. Just trying to get through those unscathed would be nice. So yeah, as I said there, it turned into Monday and now the race was at Deep Forest, which luckily I love. And you're not going to believe this, but this was the first attempt. The first corner and the first lap went without any chaos, but we lost the position to a really nice move from Narco Base here. So we just had to set about trying to get that back. We all stayed in the same positions for a couple of laps, but you can see here that there was a lead group of 4 of us breaking away from the rest. We gained ourselves a position here. It looks like P1 and 2 were fighting a bit too hard, but we're not going to complain. And I'm not quite sure how, but Narco Base got a 4-second penalty for that, which seemed a bit harsh. Keeping the pressure on. A 4-second penalty.
I thought they were sort of got caught up in it rather than actually caused it, so I did feel for them a bit. But that left the race at the front just between me and Bertie, and what a race it turned out to be from here.
I hovered around 3 or 4 seconds behind them for a few laps, and then they pitted on lap 5. I'd already planned to pit on lap 6, maybe even 7, so I stayed out and tried to pull out a special lap so we could get some kind of undercut on them. I decided to pit on lap 6, and when we came out I was hoping to be a little bit closer to Bertie than I was before the stops, and you can see them just here in front of me going through. Slightly annoyingly, another couple of cars got between us, so I needed to get past them as quickly as possible. I didn't quite manage to get them on track, but they both pitted, so that just left me to go after Bertie, who was now 2.8 seconds ahead, so the undercut had worked a bit. By lap 10 I'd managed to close the gap down to 1.8, still with 5 laps to go, so I felt that as long as I didn't mess this up we could potentially have this. I know that Peugeot is excellent for this race, but I felt like I was gaining some really good advantage through the twisty bit. I think on some laps I was gaining as much as half a second in that sector. Anyway, this carried on, I kept chipping away, so I'm going to skip forward to lap 13, where now I'm only 0.9 seconds behind Bertie.
Okay, we're going to be coming into the final lap here. Got the edge on him here. Keep it cool. Okay, we got third coming up behind us now as well. Portuguese. Pretty much the last opportunity. Took that all along. I think he's got me. Coming out, drag him. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, what a race that was. That was awesome. Right, first attempt at daily race C, which I don't think I was taking too seriously. 400ths. Whoa, that was a cool race. Sorry if I sound a bit funny. I've come down with something pretty horrendous, but I wanted to do this. But yeah, that was super fun. Getting that close on the first attempt felt great. I confess I did try a few more times after that, never got the same result. I think a couple of fourths, a couple of thirds. So overall, some pretty good results. I'm certainly happy with that. Fighting for the podium spots in every attempt is pretty good going. So yeah, we didn't quite win all 3 daily races, but to be fair, the April challenge was to win 1. So winning 2, coming second in the third by just half a tenth, I will take that. We'll tick that off. So now on to the April goal, and I want to talk about this. It says to execute a pit stop strategy in a 20-lap online race. Now there's a few things about this. Firstly, to have a 20-lap race, I need to create a custom one. So I did that, literally no one joined for ages. So I had to scrap that. Then I thought I could make a custom race, but using the Sophie AI as opponents, which to be fair, I did that. And I have to say, I'm very impressed with that AI. So much better than the standard AI, which to be fair, in my opinion, is so bad, even the using the word intelligence in it is borderline. But yeah, that wasn't really an online race. So I figured that if the challenge is there to teach us to think about strategy in a race that involves a pit stop, and it doesn't say we have to win it, kind of figured we've done this plenty of times. We've done more than enough races with pit strategies in it. So if you don't mind, I'm going to tick that one off already, so we can spend a bit of time going over the full list of challenges so far right from the beginning. Now, rather than spending 10 minutes reading through them all, I'm going to put them on the screen here for a few seconds. You can pause the video, write them down, and see how you're getting on. I absolutely can't deny that I've improved as a driver since starting this challenge. Not quite where we want to be yet, but it's only April, so I'm not expecting to be. I definitely feel a bit better prepared for the serious races now, thanks to the program, what we've learned so far. But anyway, that's all for this episode. I'm really pleased with what we've achieved. Feels like we're making good progress. Let me know in the comments if you're playing along, how you're getting on, or if you just joined the series. It would be good to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe to see what next month's got in store for us, and if we can hit the goals by the end of the year. But thank you so much, everyone. Take it easy.